今やゴジラの通過した後は炎の海と化し、見渡せばいつは終わ
Bam! What's doing, guys? Back with a fresh final review. Today we're going to be looking at the Passion Tank Summer WonderFestival 2024 Sofubi figure. Bam! Alright, so what do we got here? It is the Shin Godzilla. This is one of my first of 3 Sofubi Shin Godzillas. I picked up 2 other Sofubi Shin Godzillas from WonderFest, and we'll get to reviews after this one. But yeah, it was a triple Shin Godzilla attack, not intentional. It just happened to be that these 3 figures spoke to me. The other 2, one being a Sarajurushi Shin Godzilla. I totally butchered that, and I'm leaving it. It's fine. And the other was a Frog Tree Shin Godzilla, which is dope. Really, really dope. All right, so this figure, Passion Tank. This is now my 3rd Passion Tank figure after the 2 G64s that I have. One being the blue variant and the other being the retro paint style variant. Passion Tank only has a 1-day license at these events. So when you see events like WonderFestival Winter, Summer WonderFestival, Super Festivals, or any maybe possibly online events, they only have a 1-day license, which means the only way to get the figure is at those events. That's it. So at WonderFest Summer, as they call it, the summer edition, right? It was, I believe it was 30,000 yen. So do the conversion. It's somewhere about like maybe 225, 250, give or take, depending on where the exchange rate is. I paid about $450 for this to get shipped to my door. And I'm not, like, that's not really bad, considering all that. I did not have to fly to Japan. The seller who I bought it from had to pay for a ticket to get into WonderFestival and pay up front to get the figure. Mind you, he also had to stand in line to get into WonderFest, to get to the Passion Tank table, and get the figure, okay? So he did all the legwork. I just had to click, buy, and boom, made it real easy for me. No complaints. So again, they pay Toho a 1-day license to sell these figures at these events. Now, the figure comes in this crazy big plastic bag and a header card. Make sure you save your staples. Do it. Mine are in here. I got 2 of them. One, couple of them. Yeah, save your staples. So that's the bag. The header card, pretty basic header card. Nothing too crazy going on the front. Just says Passion Tank and made in Tokyo, Japan. On the back, it has the basic toy information, manufacturer information. It's Godzilla 2016. It's WonderFestival with the date. And it has the toy maker's information. Not really much about their information. They say the sculptor, his name is Jet Passion. And it was, you know, like their little, well, not little, sorry, take that back. But like their business name is Jet Sum. I'm not entirely sure about that, but they don't give their names. If you want, check them out on Instagram at Passion Tank Info. And they're also on Twitter, or X as we call it now, sorry. Also Passion Tank Info. It's on the back of the header card. Check them out. The link for their X and Instagram will be in the description. Definitely check them out because that's a great way to see, hey, what figures are they making next and going to put out at the next toy event in Japan. Boom. Right? Awesome. Now, the figure itself. I don't have my tape measure, so this figure stands at probably about a solid 10, 11 inches tall. The figure feels big. This is a big Sofubi piece. The tail is enormous in its own right, and it's long and just a little bit taller than Godzilla at the height of his head. Okay, the sculpt, beautiful sculpt. We got his scars, his skin, his scales, and everything that you saw in the movie Shin Godzilla. Not to mention though his protruding sternum. His arms are disgustingly sculpted. The legs and everything are beautifully sculpted. Disgustingly, but beautiful. Beautiful ugliness. The feet are sculpted, nicely done. Now, I don't know what it is with this fandom and people hang up about Godzilla's feet. Ever since 2014, people got to hang up about Godzilla's feet. They complained about 2014's. Then they complained about What? Whose feet? It's like feet. Enough with the feet. Who gives a shit about his feet? They're feet. He's a mutation. They fucking mutate. Shit. But the feet look great here. He's got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fucking toenails on each foot. There you go. Pedicure that. Or manicure. Yeah, pedicure, right? That's the feet. Shit. What do I know? I don't care. The dorsal plates, they look nicely sculpted. There's 5 rows of dorsal plates here, so that would be really hard to sculpt into a Sofubi piece. It's not like X Plus where, you know, they do go out of their way to make sure that the detail is top notch. But the dorsal plates is like this one big clob of vinyl here, but they're sculpted in a way that you can actually sense the sense of depth in the dorsal plates. So they look good. No, really, that's not a complaint for me. It's part of the mold, the sculpting, the molding process, and that's what we have. We move up to the head. The head looks great. Nice detail. Pronounced eyebrows. His beady little eyes look freaking awesome and just disturbing looking. But if we look at the mouth is one big glob of vinyl. This would be almost hard and impossible for them to sculpt that out. Some Bandai figures are like that. Other Sofubi pieces are like that. Some Marmots are like that. It's normal. This is Sofubi. This is what you get. Boom. No complaints. I will admit, though, that the teeth look really nicely done, painted and surfacely sculpted there. So that looks awesome. Again, I really love the hands. The hands are that perfect Shin Godzilla pose. Palms up, and it just adds to the grossness of this design. Much like we saw now, almost over 8 years ago. It's crazy to think that movie came out 8 years ago. But the figure is gorgeous. Now the paint job. The paint job is what makes this figure. Let's do a little quick story time. I originally was almost going to buy a Passion Tank Shin Godzilla at G-Fest 2023, but it was on a top shelf. It was a black and white variant. I'm not sure exactly what release that was or where it was sold at, but it wasn't 100% speaking to me. You know, it wasn't like screaming like, "Take me home, you little shit," from the top shelf, looking down on me. And I'm glad I passed on it because this one speaks to me. This one is freaking awesome. Got the, somewhere over the rainbow, reading rainbow Shin Godzilla going on here. This thing looks great. And following Passion Tank on Instagram, getting to see the process of these figures get made, for what they shared, I was like, damn, that's looking awesome. And then when they finally shared photos of the finished product here, I was like, fuck. I was like, I need it. Gonna have to get it. And click buy, and here we are. But look at this paint job. The figure, it's made out of red vinyl, and we have gold paint apps on his thighs and back and his head, followed by blue. And the paint looks awesome because it's like a metallic paint. It looks really, really good. The way light bounces off it is beautiful. The tail has the same thing, blue from the top of his head. Dorsal plates are all painted metallic blue, right down to the bottom of the tail, almost to the tip of the tail. But we're going to say about 90% of the tail has that blue, and faded up nicely with the goldish yellow. That looks awesome. And it almost gives the figure where the yellow meets the red an orangey look. So it looks really, really good. Toenails, fingernails, and his teeth are painted silver. His eyeballs, those are white with a black pupil. Disturbing looking. He looks really, really freaking good. Now, points of articulation. The arms move. You kind of put his hands out like that. He's like, the fuck? Okay, put those back to kind of decently normal. The legs have some points of articulation. And the tail has 1, 2, 3 points of articulation, which is good. Depending on the shelf that you're putting them on, you might have to turn the tail one way or the other and move it about, just to make sure you're not hitting the top of your shelf. You really would need, high shelves, about like 12, 16-inch height to get him to clear so you're not, mangling the tail on top of a shelf. But yeah, freaking awesome. I love this figure. It's definitely a 10 out of 10 for me. Glad I held out for this one. Zero complaints. The sculpt is beautiful. Again, take into consideration how Sofubi figures are made. This is what happens with the sculpt, with the dorsal plates. This, again, five rows of dorsal plates and the mouth. No big deal. This piece of art is perfect. I love it. And I'm glad I got it. Definitely, yeah. 10 out of 10. Certified fresh. That's what's up. Okay? Good luck trying to find one now. They might, maybe they'll release this again at Winter Wonderfest. Who knows? It's already September, so stay tuned. All right. So check out the links in the description for his Instagram and X socials. And if you're interested in getting a Fresh Vinyl shirt, make sure you check out the link in the description. You can pick any color you want and whatever. If not, fine. Don't get a shirt. I don't really care, but they're there because I get asked about them from time to time. I got to order myself a new one anyways because the other one I had has holes in it. And it looks stupid. So I'm wearing a Famous Monsters shirt. Bam. Okay? All right, that's all I got to say about it. It's definitely damn fresh, certified fresh. And boom. And remember, people, buy vinyl, fresh vinyl. Bam.